Hey there, human player. Did you know you are vital to the Team Alliance at the field? That's right, you hold the power of potential in your hands. Let's walk through your duties to help you know exactly how important you are.
There are two main tasks that the human player is in charge of: Rings Recycle and Power Shot Reset. Let's take a close look at the more likely performed task of Ring Recycle. Rings can be introduced into the field during driver control period. Any ring introduced earlier than the start of driver control period will receive a penalty. The first ring will get a warning. Subsequent rings will receive one minor penalty per Rule GS4-A. Rings need to be introduced and recycled to the field as quickly as practical. This is a good example of rings being introduced as quickly as practical. Also, as soon as a ring has left the field in a scored attempt for the tower or the power shots, that ring must also be recycled down the ring chute as quickly as practical.
Holding on to rings or stowing during driver control period violates GS4-C. The only exception is the human player can wait to introduce or recycle rings if there is a robot in front of the ring chute. Please kindly wait until the robot has moved out of the way before putting a ring down the ring chute. If a ring touches a robot before touching the playing field floor, then the robot will incur a minor penalty per ring and can escalate to a major penalty per occurrence per GS6-B. If in the case of a live event where it is an opposing alliance robot that touches a ring before it touches the playing field floor via your ring chute, then no penalty will be assigned via G3.
Let's take a look at the math on ring stowing for GS4-C. Take for instance the human player has 3 rings in their hand and obviously looks like they are not going to introduce those rings into the field for whatever reason, and the chute is clear of any robots being near it. The human player obviously waits for 12 seconds before beginning to introduce those 3 rings. The initial call by field personnel will give a minor per ring. Then after 5 seconds and no rings introduced, another minor per ring will incur. Then after another 5 seconds and no rings introduced, another minor per ring will occur. The human player begins introducing rings at 12 seconds after beginning the field personnel count. The count stops and the human player has incurred a total of 9 minor penalties, which equals negative 90 points. What if the same scenario had 6 rings? Then negative 180 points. This racks up. Be very mindful and get those rings out as quickly as practical. Reintroducing rings into the field as quickly as practical gives your alliance more chances to score with more rings that have randomly rolled around the field. Oh yeah, and if there is a ring stuck inside the tower goal, fish it out from the back side of the tower when robots are at least 1 tile away from the tower goal, GS4-E. Basically, when you see a ring outside the playing field around your human player box, quickly put it back into the field via the ring chute. It really is that simple. Now let's talk about Power Shot Reset. Power Shot Reset is only performed during driver control period and only once. Let me repeat that. Power Shot Reset is only performed during driver control period and only once. Try to reset before endgame, but if Ring Recycle is taking all of your focus, you are allowed to reset the power shots within the first 10 seconds of endgame. Resetting the power shots early or multiple times will result in penalties via GS4-D because they were unnecessary intrusions into the playing field perimeter by not performing the human player tasks properly. The human player may not extend inside the playing field perimeter. Violations begin with a warning and then a minor penalty per violation per GS4-D. If a ring gets stuck on a power shot, then only during driver control period may the human player remove the ring from the back of the power shot assembly without changing the direction of the power shot, then put the ring down the ring chute as quickly as practical.
Let's review.
Stand in the human player box during autonomous. You can pick up rings and hold them as well as fish out stuck rings from the back of the tower goal, but nothing else. Still chill out during the 8-second space between autonomous and driver control period. As soon as driver control period starts, release the rings down the chute as quickly as practical. Recycle, recycle, recycle! Reset the power shots before endgame or within the first 10 seconds of endgame. Only reset once. Recycle, recycle, recycle! When the end of the buzzer goes off, stop. Wait patiently in the human player box until the field personnel dismiss the players.
Alrighty, I hope this helps you understand the role of the human player. Have fun out there.